Okay, so I think today is the day. Officially, I am an unk. I threw my back out yesterday opening a window, and now it hurts to sit down and stand up, and even like hunching over to record this video, I am like in pain. So bear with me, man. I should be in a nursing home now. Anyway, today's story time is a pretty good one, and it kind of piggybacks off of what I talked about a few days ago. A few days ago, I uploaded a story time about running away and how well I ran away. I met this dude who knew about my YouTube channel and was really cool, and it was a good story. If you want to watch that, I will link it first, link in the description. But today's story time is also about running away, but this one's a lot different than that one in many ways. Now, as a teenager, I ran away from home quite a bit. I was definitely a very attitude-driven, easily angered kid. I definitely had a temper. And when I was younger, if me and my parents got in any kind of disagreement and it escalated to the point where they were going to ground me or yell at me about something, I would almost always just hop out my window and leave. And that made things worse always. But it made for some pretty interesting story times. And I'm going to tell one of the most interesting ones today. So I hope you enjoy this. Leave a like on the video if you do enjoy it, and let's get into it. So, today's story time all starts off as a normal day when I was 16 years old. Now, on this day, it was a weekend. It was Saturday, to be specific. It was the summer. Everybody I knew was on summer break, including me. Everything was going good. Everything was going great. Now, I had just finished up making a YouTube video, and I was just on my computer watching YouTube, when all of a sudden, my mom comes in my room and starts freaking out about a random charge on her credit card. It was for $400 to some random company. And she's yelling at me because she thinks that I made it. Now, I'm not going to lie. She did have her credit card linked on my Xbox. And sometimes, not often, but sometimes when I was a kid, I would buy a gamer picture pack on Xbox Live or a little skin in a video game for a couple bucks. Don't do that, obviously. That's not cool, okay? You always ask your parents before you go and charge their credit card. But my mom thought that I did that and I charged $400 to it, right? And she's freaking out on me thinking I did it. And I was like, Mom, I'm being honest. I didn't do it. And she was like, don't lie to me. Who else has the card number but you? Who did it then? And I was like, Mom, your identity probably got stolen. Someone probably has your card number. Cancel the card. Because, I swear it's not me. And she still didn't believe me. She thought that I took her credit card and I bought a bunch of stuff on it at this random company's website. And I was getting a little bit upset. I can't lie that she didn't believe me. Do I blame her for not believing me now? Not really, because I used to lie a shit ton when I was a kid. But yeah, in the heat of the moment, I got very offended, and I was like, you know what? I don't give a shit if someone charged $400 to your card. It wasn't me, but you deserve it. And obviously, I shouldn't have said that. That was fucked up. And she's like, oh, I deserve it? Okay, then you deserve this. And she walked over to my desk, unplugged my laptop, unplugged my TV, unplugged all my stuff, right? And took my wires, so I couldn't use any of it in my room. She goes, you can get this back when I feel like giving it back. And she walked out of my room. And now I'm furious, right? I got nothing to do. It's summer vacation. I'm just completely disconnected now from the internet. I was pissed, right? So I get up out of my chair. I go into my closet. I grab some clothes, grab my backpack, my phone charger, all the stuff I need for the night, right? And I put everything in my backpack. I open my window in my bedroom and I hop out that bitch and I run away. I didn't actually run. I walked away. But yeah, I left my house for the night. I had no plans on returning. I was fed up with that whole situation and I wanted to be out of there. So after I left my house and I started walking aimlessly down the street, no plan, nothing to do, no one to see, and I start making phone calls. I start calling friends of mine, seeing if anybody around where I live is busy. And one of my friends actually was not busy, so that was good. I went to his house and I stayed there for about 4 or 5 hours into the night, just playing Xbox with him, kicking it. And he actually gave me the option to sleep there that night. And I don't know why, but for some reason I didn't take it. I was like, nah, man, I'm good. I'm going to just go walk around and, find something else to do. And he was like, you sure, man? It's getting late. And he was clearly concerned for my well-being. And I was like, yeah, I'll be fine, bro. I don't know to this day what I was thinking. A free place to stay for the night, a safe roof over my head. And I chose, nah, I'm going to go walk around aimlessly in the city and hope that I don't get mugged. So that's what I did. I left my friend's house, dapped him up, said goodbye, I left. And I walked into the city and just aimlessly walked around trying to find something to do for the rest of the night. At one point, I found this grocery store that was open 24/7. I went in there for a little bit. Then I went over to this 24/7 gas station and I bought a candy bar because I had money, not a lot, but I had money at the time from YouTube and stuff. And after about a couple hours of aimlessly roaming the city, just trying to find something to do, it was getting to the point where I had to find somewhere to sleep because it was really late. Everything wasn't really open besides the 24/7 grocery store, and I couldn't sleep there. And the craziest, most ironic, and just shittiest part about this story is was I had enough money from YouTube at the time to rent a hotel room. Like, I didn't have a ton of money to my name, but I had enough to get a room for the night, right? But I couldn't do it because I wasn't 18 and I wasn't old enough to rent a room. So that was off the table, right? So yeah, at this point, like I said, it's getting pretty late. I have to find somewhere to sleep. So I hit my friend up, the one that offered me to sleep there to begin with, and he's not answering. He fell asleep. And now I'm really fucked because I have nowhere to go besides my own house. And I didn't want to go there because I was being spiteful and, stupid. But yeah, I remember just standing there on the side of the street, feeling like a total dumbass for not just staying at my friend's house. Like, he gave me the option to stay there that night and was clearly like wanting me to stay there. And I was like, no, man, I'm gonna go find something to do for the night. And like, I'll find somewhere to sleep. I'll be fine. And I had no plan. I didn't know where I was gonna go. So yeah, now I'm screwed. I have nowhere to sleep. I have nowhere to go. So once again, I start aimlessly walking around. And I end up walking around for probably a good hour and a half with just nothing to do. And finally, I start making phone calls again because I'm just so painfully bored, so painfully alone, just like sad and bored. I start calling friends, right? And nobody's answering because it's so late. And finally, after like 5 or 6 calls of nobody answering, one of my friends answers the phone. We'll just call this friend Brian, okay? Brian was an up late person like me. He was always up really late. And he answers the phone. He's like, what's up, man? And I was like, dude, what are you up to? And he's like, just sitting in my room playing COD. How about you? And I was like, can I come over? And he's like, sure. Where are you? And I was like, just walking around the city aimlessly, nowhere to go. I ran away from home. He's like, oh shit, yeah, man, come through. So I walked like 2 miles to Brian's house and I hung out there for like 20 minutes until we both got really bored and decided we want to go out and do something. So then me and Brian set out, just aimlessly walking the city, looking for something to do, which is crazy, by the way. We were not supposed to be out this late. My parents would have never let us out this late, neither would Brian's. I can't remember the exact time it was, but it was very late at night at this point. And we were in an area that we should not have been that late at night. Definitely some dangerous areas. Definitely never recommend doing that. Don't go aimlessly wandering a city at night by yourself as a teenager. It's a terrible idea. But yeah, we were idiots and that's what we were doing. And after about an hour or so of being out, me and Brian got the itch to go explore this abandoned building that was not far from the city. It was an abandoned mental hospital that me and Brian have been in many times. And I've told stories on this channel about us going in there and like all the crazy things that have happened. And that was the funniest part, is this building, almost every time we went in there, we would have crazy stuff happen. And the idea of just us two going in there was kind of nuts because typically we'd only go in there if we had a big group of people. But this time it was just going to be me and Brian. So that kind of scared us a little bit. But we thought, you know what? Let's just do it. We won't regret it. We'll be fine. Once again, stupid idea, don't do that. But we did. We went to the abandoned mental hospital, we snuck in through one of the basement windows, and yeah, before I knew it, we were exploring this abandoned mental hospital, just me and Brian. Now, we end up walking around in there for about 20 minutes, and it's a very tall building, by the way. It's like over 30 floors high, and it takes a long time to explore that many floors, so in 30 minutes, we weren't even like a quarter of the way through it, right? And we just keep exploring floor by floor, just looking around. Forgot to mention, we had no flashlights but the ones on our phones, so that didn't help. They did not span that far, so we could only see like a few feet in front of us. It was terrifying. But, so far so good. There wasn't anything too scary in there. Just creepy, old building sounds and, creepy old building vibe and smells and stuff, but nothing scary, right? Well, then we got to the 10th floor. I remember the floor very specifically because this is where shit starts to get weird. So we get to the 10th floor, and this was the floor where they had a few really cool rooms. For example, there was one room that had like a really old, like big cafeteria. So we got to go in there and check that out. And then there was another room that had like a gym in there. That was pretty cool. It wasn't a huge gym or anything, but it was still like a gym room, so that was cool. And while we were in the little like recreational gym room, whatever you want to call it, we start to hear sounds. Not just old building sounds. We hear voices. Like coming down the hallway. Now me and Brian look at each other and immediately I'm like, yo, let's just be quiet. Let's wait till they pass by and then we can leave. We'll just go out the other way where we came in. We'll be fine. And Brian's like, dude, what if they come in here? Like they explore, like they'll see us. I'm like, bro, it's probably just a couple of kids like us. We'll probably be fine, right? So we crouch down in the corner of the room behind one of the old tables and we just stay super quiet as the voices get closer and closer and closer. And the closer they get, the more me and Brian are quite literally almost shitting our pants in fear. And also the voices, as they get closer, they're deep voices. These are not just kids, like teenagers or some shit. If they are, they're really old teenagers that hit puberty very early and have super deep voices, because these sounded like some grown men, dude. And it sounded like there was a lot of them. It sounded like at least 4 people were coming down this hallway. And they just keep getting closer and closer and closer. And finally, they were at the door of that room, the room that we were in, hiding in. And the voices just stop. They stop right when they get to the door. That's what it sounded like, right? And me and Brian kind of look at each other with like this look of like, what the fuck's going on? Why'd the voices stop? What are they doing? Why are they waiting out there? And I whisper, I'm like, yo, like, do you think they're like waiting for us or something? Like, do you think they know we're in here? And he's like, I don't know, dude, but like, I swear, like, they stopped right there. And then all of a sudden, right after he says that, right, we hear them start up again. They're talking again. I don't know why they went quiet all of a sudden, but we hear them go into one of the rooms right next to our room. And I thought to Brian, like, okay, you know what, dude? This is our chance. They're in the room directly like behind us. They're not in the hallway anymore. Let's get out in the hallway and just beeline it downstairs and get the fuck out of here. And he goes, all right, I'm down. Let's do it. So me and Brian count backwards from 3. And on go, we just fucking run. We run to the doorway of the room we're in. We run out of there into the hallway. And right when we run out into the hallway, those dudes came out of the other room from their door. So we were just met face to face with these random dudes who, by the way, were not kids. They were like in their 20s. And we both just jump scare the shit out of each other. Like, it scared the fuck out of me and Brian. We scared the fuck out of them. And we're all like, whoa. And the one dude goes, like, in their group, one of the guys, he's like, what are you guys doing? And I'm like, we were just leaving. And he's like, okay. And then Brian, being all scared, is like, yeah, we don't want any trouble. And this dude's like, we're not going to cause you guys any trouble. We're just exploring. What about you? And he's like, oh yeah, we're doing the same thing. And the guy's like, okay, so we're good. You don't got to be afraid of us. And this guy was actually really chill. And he kind of made it, known that we weren't going to have any problems with them. And after that, we kind of decided, you know what, like, let's not leave. These guys aren't going to, hurt us. They're just exploring the same way we are. Like, maybe they'd let us explore with them. So I, like, awkwardly asked this guy, I'm like, hey, man, would it be cool if, like, we explored with y'all? Because, like, we're alone. It's kind of creepy in here. And he's like, yeah, sure. So we ended up linking up with this group of these, like, dudes that were way older than us and probably didn't want us there because we were probably, like, annoying them because we're kids. But whatever, right? We felt safer being near them versus being alone. Which is honestly insane to think about. Like, these dudes could have been, like actual psychopaths, but we, for some reason, trusted them. But yeah, we end up exploring this building. We explore the whole 10th floor. Then we go up to the 11th floor, do the same there. And we end up exploring pretty much 95% of the building. We did everything but the roof because the roof is really sketchy and can cave in, so we didn't really want to mess with that. And after we got done exploring pretty much the whole building and we were heading back down towards the first floor, one of the guys in this group was like, all right, so what room should we pick? This other guy's like, I'm thinking like the 10th floor, that little gym room that these dudes were hiding in, that's the one. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you guys talking about? And this guy goes, we're staying here tonight. And I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, we're sleeping here for a video. We're doing a challenge. I was like, what challenge? And this guy's like, just a challenge to ourselves. We want to spend a night in this abandoned mental hospital and film it. And I was like, why? And he goes, because it makes for a good video. You ever seen the movie Grave Encounters? Which, by the way, that movie, top tier. Check it out if you haven't. And I was like, yeah, man, I've seen that movie. A bunch of demons come out and they start going crazy. And he's like, yeah, well, we want to see if that's real. I'm like, hey, man, to each their own. He starts laughing and he's like, obviously that's not going to happen. But, it's good for a YouTube video. It's good clickbait. And I was like, yeah, man, I know a little bit about clickbait. And we start talking about YouTube and stuff. And I showed him my channel. And one of them showed me theirs on his phone. And yeah, we were just like, making small talk about YouTube. And essentially, yeah, they were going to spend the night there. And they were just walking us down to help us leave and then get some stuff out of their car to film with. And then they were going to go back in. And while we were on the way down and we were about to leave, my homie, Brian, taps me on the shoulder. And he's like, yo, we should do the challenge with them. I was like, bro, no. First of all, you have to go back home. Your parents don't know you're out right now. We snuck out. Second of all, in this abandoned, creepy building all night, I'm good. He's like, bro, fuck it. Like, I'll take the hit. I'll get grounded. Like, I want to do it. It'd be such a cool video. Like, you could film it too, bro, for your channel. And I was like, I don't know, man. Because I did not want to vlog at the time. I was so self-conscious about showing my face. So that was a no-go. But he did have a point. It would make for a good story. Plus, I ran away from home, so it's not like I had to be home anytime soon. I probably should, go home, but I didn't. So I thought, you know what? If you're willing to take the hit and get grounded, Brian, let's do it. So we asked these dudes after that. I was like, hey man, can we like do this with y'all? Like we want to be a part of the challenge. And at first they were really, really hesitant. Like all of them were kind of like looking at each other, like whispering, because we were young compared to them. Like, you know, they were adults, we weren't. But after some thinking, the one dude who was like kind of like the leader of the group, he was like, fuck it, man, why not? And me and Brian were like, fuck yeah. So yeah, we went to their car, we grabbed some stuff, like 2 cameras, some flashlights, some tripods, and we went back in the building, set some of the stuff up, and we started making this video. And I was excited, because like I had never been a part of a video like this. It was kind of funny, because like I said, I was really self-conscious about my face, so I like wrapped my scarf that I had around my face, like a mask, and like I wasn't showing my face, because I was just, you know, being scared. But yeah, they started filming their little YouTube intro, and after that we started exploring the building again, this time on camera. Not really sure why they didn't film the first time they were in there. Like they could have filmed them exploring the building when they first went in and like looked for a room to stay in. But yeah, now they were filming, so whatever, I guess. But anyway, we filmed exploring the building again. Then we got to that like little gym room, and that's where they started setting up all their stuff. And then one of them was like, oh shit, bro, I forgot the air mattresses. I'll be right back. So one of them had to go all the way down by himself in this building, all creepy and weird, you know, that creepy building, and go and get the air mattresses and bring them up so we could have a place to like lay and chill. And when the guy got back upstairs with the air mattresses, like 15 or so minutes later, they didn't have enough for everybody. They were 3 short, so they didn't have any for me, my buddy, which is one thing. Me and Brian, like they weren't, you know, accounting for before they went to the building, so it's fine if they didn't have any for us, but they were missing one for one of their friends as well. So they decided that they had to sleep in shifts. So that was crazy. And these guys were actually nice enough to let us have a shift. So I got to lay on the air mattress for like an hour, hour and a half. I'm not going to lie, I didn't sleep at all. And neither did Brian, because we were fucking in an abandoned mental asylum with a bunch of random people. So we were pretty spooked and didn't want to, you know, sleep or like close our eyes because who knows what could happen. But we ended up, you know, hanging out there for the entire night. Now I know you're probably wondering, Austin, anything crazy happen? Any paranormal activity? Anything nuts? Now, I'm sorry to break it to you, but there was no ghosts, no paranormal activity, but one thing that was pretty creepy did happen. About halfway through staying the night there, we started hearing voices come down the hallway again. And this time, it wasn't those guys, because we were with those guys, so it was new voices, and we were really creeped out, and even the dudes that were way older than us were pretty creeped out. One of them actually had a pocket knife, and he was gripping it, because he was, you know, scared someone was going to run in and attack us or something. But after waiting and hearing the voices get closer and closer, we realized it was a homeless couple. It was a guy and a girl. They were homeless. And we like made eye contact with them as they walked by the door. And the girl just kind of like waved at us, then just like kept walking with the guy. And they just walked away down the hallway. Didn't like, you know, talk to us or, you know, engage with us very much besides the girl like waving at us. But that was pretty creepy, man. I'm not going to lie. Definitely scared the shit out of us a little bit. And yeah, we made it through the night. That was like the only real creepy thing that happened besides like a bunch of weird sounds and stuff. That was it. Nothing too, you know, out of the ordinary for a creepy abandoned building. And yeah, after the night was over, we proceeded to pack up all the stuff and we started going down the stairs to leave the building and just leave and have a successful night, I guess. I don't know, or abandoned exploration, sleepover. I don't know what to call it. But yeah, we got to the bottom of the stairs. We left the building. Forgot to mention the whole night I didn't hear from my mom or Brian's mom. She didn't call him either. So we just didn't hear from our parents, and we didn't know whether to be concerned or like if that just meant they didn't know we were gone. So we wanted to get home quick and like, you know, figure that out. So after we left the building and we were about to go our separate ways from these dudes and like me and Brian were about to leave, I asked one of the guys, I was like, hey man, can I have your channel name? Like I want to see your guys' channel. I want to watch the video when it's up. And he's like, yeah, man. And he pulls up his channel and he shows it to me again. And I write down the exact name, like letter for letter. Everything was good, word for word. It was perfect. I remember the profile pic. It was a photo of all of them, like in a selfie. And I was, you know, excited to go home and watch the video when it was up later on in the week or something. So after this, me and Brian went back to his house. He snuck back in through his window. I then walked all the way home to my house, snuck back in through my window. And guess fucking what? Neither of our parents caught us. I don't know how or why, but my mom must have like never came into my room to check on me after she took my stuff away. And she must have just went to bed and assumed I was in bed or something. Because she never found out or caught me. I mean, now she's going to know because I'm making a video about it, but not really going to matter now. And Brian, he snuck out after his parents were already asleep. So we both just got incredibly lucky. And we both got home so early in the morning that they weren't awake yet. So yeah, just real lucky. Real lucky. I mean, obviously I have to say it again for like the third time. Just don't do any of the stuff we did in this story time. Like, this shit was so dangerous. It could have went so bad so quick. Like, never do that. Anyway, the story time doesn't end there. So for the next like 2 weeks, I check these guys' channel every day. Every day I'm checking this channel because I want them to upload this video and I want to like see what it looks like and I want to watch it and see how cool it was and relive the memories. And they just don't upload the fucking video. Like 2 weeks go by, no video. 3 weeks go by, no video. Finally, a month goes by, no fucking video. And now I'm mad. Now I'm like impatient, I'm angry. So I send them a message. Like, I got the dude's email from his YouTube channel and I email him. I'm like, hey man, it's Austin, one of the kids from the Asylum that night. Do you have the video? Like, is it going to be up soon? And he emails me back like 2 hours later trying to say that they're not going to upload the video because one of the dudes a part of the channel like got into a fight with them and doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. And he changed the password associated with the channel. The good news was he didn't change the password associated with their business email that was like listed in the about section. So I was still like able to email the guy. But yeah, he lost access to his own channel, I guess. Like, all of them got locked out because this one guy was being petty. And I was like, all right, well, like, fuck that guy. Like, make the video anyway and put it on a new channel. And he emails back saying they can't because this guy has all the footage. And I'm like, dude, come on. And he told me if he ever gets it back, he'll like send it to me or something. But guess what? I didn't get shit. And a couple weeks later, their channel got deleted. The dude deleted it. And I tried emailing the business email, being like, hey man, like, are you gonna make a new channel? Like, you get the footage? He ignored me. So it just got lost forever of one of the craziest nights of my life. And I think about that night so much and how that video would have been really good for this channel, like all these years later. So it kind of begs the question, should I go back? Like, I'm the age of those dudes now, you know? I'm not 16 anymore. I'm in my 20s and like, I'm old enough to like go do that if I want to. I mean, it's still a really stupid idea and you guys should never do that. But you know, I'm old enough now to where I could probably like go make the video if I wanted to myself. I'm definitely going to try and like contact the owners of the building first, see if they'll like let me film a video there just to be safe because I'm not trying to get arrested. But I don't know. Maybe I can. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. But yeah, man, that is the end of the story. That is how I ran away from home, met some random older dudes at a abandoned building, and then spent the night there filming a video that I never got to watch. So yeah, pretty all around just insane night. And moral of the story is, yeah, just don't do any of the things I did in this story time, man. Plain and simple. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the story time. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I will see you guys all later. Peace.
I be fully loaded, I be whipping foreign cars. Always stay devoted, mama.